Hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Brett Renee. I'm an artist, and in this video, I'm going to share with you the 5 best pens for urban sketching, in my opinion. These are the ones you're going to want to have in your tool bag when you're traveling or if you're out around town sketching. They save you time, and I'm going to do it by creating this sketch, and I'm going to show you how I used each one of these pens to create this and why they're so amazing and why you want to use them. So let's get started. So I'm just going to be drawing a little sketch of a house in my neighborhood, something simple just to show you how I use these pens. So the first one is a Micron pen, and I've actually got 2 of them here because the Microns are great just for sketching, but I like them because they come in all these different colors. So I've got a gray one and a burnt sienna one here that I'm going to start my sketch with. And it's great if you don't want just black ink in your sketch, if you want to vary it, or maybe you want to make something look a little more toned down. So I'm going to use the Micron Pens gray one to make an outline of a tree. And this is going to frame my house. You can see it's just a nice light gray like you get from a pencil. So it's not going to be overwhelming when I go to paint this tree. All right, and now I'm going to take the burnt sienna pen. I'm just going to start making some little bark lines. This is kind of just sort of like an undersketch kind of thing. It's just to get it started. These pens glide really nicely, so I'm just kind of making skipping lines, trying to make natural bark lines. Okay, it's looking good. I'm going to put one more little detail here. There we go. All right, so now I've got my tree started. So now I want to put in lines for the rest of the sketch and draw my house. And for that, I am going to use my Lamy Safari fountain pen. So this is what I use for most of my urban sketching. I love this pen. I've got a couple fountain pens, but this is my favorite. I got it in the small tip, which I think is the number 2 tip. It glides beautifully. The only thing about this pen is when you get it, it comes with blue ink and it's not waterproof. So if you want black ink, you need to get a converter. And then I fill my converter up with this platinum carbon ink. It's black and it's waterproof, and once it dries, you can paint over it. It doesn't smear. It's just really beautiful. So this is what I am now going to draw the majority of the sketch with my fountain pen. See, I'm leaving space there on the right for my bush. Just putting in some basic house shapes. And there's my flowering bush. Okay, good. So just a couple more details, and I will be ready to do some shading. So for the shading, I'm going to use my Koi brush pen. These also come in a lot of colors, but I love this. It's like a warm light gray, and it's not totally waterproof, so it does blend when you paint over it, which is really, really nice. And so I'm just gonna put some basic shading in here. It saves you time because I don't have to go in with another shading color, like a secondary color once I've painted. This kind of just blends with the color I lay down, and the shading stays there. It's really nice. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just, put some down where the sun would not hit and create shadows. All right, that looks pretty good. I'm going to do a little more shading now. I'm going to use my Faber Castell Pitt Artist Pens, and these come in a million colors. And I like these colors. I like the gray. It's a little bit darker than the Koi, so I can make even some more definite lines with it. I also have a burnt sienna here, but I'm gonna start with the gray. I'm gonna put some lines in the roof. And this pen is a little more permanent, so it won't get smeary under the paint. Just putting a few more details in with this pen. Just giving the house more dimension. And then some more lines in the tree. So layering the tree a bit with this pen. It's nice to lay some of this on top of the koi pen too. You get a little bit of a tone change, which really makes the shading pop. And now I'm going to use my burnt sienna pen. I'm just going to add a little more detail to that tree. So now I've got some gray and brown lines in it. So it looks a little more real. Okay, so now it's time to paint. So I've got to paint this thing before I can show you my last pen in my arsenal. So I'm going to go ahead and use my watercolors and give this house some life. Okay, so just a couple more little details, going over the shaded areas, really bringing that out. So the last pen I have is my Uniball Siglo gel pen, and what's great about this pen is if you want to put some white details on at the end without having to save the white space when you're painting, this is the one you want to go to. So I did save some space obviously in the house here, but these flowers that were in front of this house had some really pretty white little blooms on there. So I want to put those details in. I didn't want to have to worry about it when I was painting in the purple. So you can just see here, super easy. I can just add those little details. And by the way, all the pens I've discussed in this video, I'm going to put them in the description. So if you do want to go pick some of these up and play around with them, they're lots of fun. They do save you time. They're just great to have in your bag when you're out urban sketching. These are the 5 things I just never leave the house without. And I'm going to add just a few more details here, but I think I'm just about done. Thanks so much for joining me today. And if you had fun or you learned something, please give me a like or subscribe. That would be awesome. And I'll see you on the next one.